Hey, what's going on, everyone? Emily Abadi here. You are listening to 5 Minute Friday on Hurdle. I am amped because I am about to head out to go to Vancouver. I haven't been to Vancouver since 2018, the last time that I ran Lululemon's Seawees half marathon, and I'm going back up this weekend to run it. And I'm really looking forward to it. I actually think this is the last super long run weekend for me before Sydney. So supposed to be running 20 on Saturday. I'll run the half. I'll probably change my clothes and I'll finish off the last bit. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Also, the weather looks stunning. Like, you're going to tell me that I get to wake up and wear a sweatshirt in 55 degrees and then the day is going to be a nice, beautiful 72. Yes, absolutely yes. For today's episode of 5 Minute Friday, I want to talk to you about the things that I do before I travel that make the entire experience so much better for me. And it starts with cleaning my apartment. There is nothing more stressful than coming back from a trip and maybe it's a little dark outside and you walk in and everything's just like in disarray. I do not have the mental bandwidth for that. So the first thing that I do as I'm packing, as I'm getting ready to head out, is make sure that my space is put together. So I come home and I feel, at ease. On the at ease note, something else that I do is I make two lists. The first list I will make as soon as I'm done recording this. And that is what am I going to do when I sit back down here at my desk the next time? So maybe there's a project that I'm working on that doesn't need my immediate attention over the weekend, or something else that might be a loose end. By making the list that I keep on my desk, I can sit down come Monday of next week and feel a little less frazzled. The other list that I make is, what do I want to do on the plane? I don't know about you guys, but when I tell you, the way that I work on a plane is so much different than the way that I work sat here at this desk. If there's something I really love, it's an airplane Diet Coke and focused, uninterrupted work time. So to get on the plane and to sit down and be in my own little mental bubble with my headphones on, like, say less, it is perfect for me. So I make another list, and on that list is the stuff that I want to get done on the plane, and I just tap, 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 work my way through that. So I have those two lists before I head out. I also want to make sure that my carry-on bag, which I have seriously refined at this point, is packed with everything that I could need. So what are some of those things? I know that you're wondering. For me, it's a mobile charger. I just got one from Anchor that has a really good longevity. Like, I feel like it stays charged for a while charging my phone. I can get 2 charges off of it, which is super helpful. And also other things in my bag. I've got my AirPods Pro Max. I think it's these ones, the ones that are the big over the ear situation. I'm also making sure I have my wallet, my passport if I need it. My Owala water bottle is a non-negotiable. My laptop, my Kindle, chapstick, hand sanitizer, hand lotion, and depending on the length of the flight, then the skin situation gets more intricate. So if it's an overnight flight, I'm bringing under eye patches. I'm also making sure that I have a face moisturizer, a toothbrush, that kind of stuff. The other thing that I'm doing is making sure that I've got essentials for right when I land at the top of my suitcase. So if I have a plan for the day, I want to make sure that whatever I might need, I don't have to go digging for. I hate getting into a hotel room and immediately like wreaking havoc in there as well. So I try to keep it as organized as possible. And then the last thing that I do is I prep in case I get onto a plane and it also doesn't have Wi-Fi. So I told you that I love the opportunity to get on the plane and do my dedicated work situation, but sometimes there are going to be things that are beyond my control. So that is me maybe downloading a couple podcast episodes that I've been wanting to listen to, or perhaps right now I'm going to be downloading a couple episodes of the new Ted Lasso. I'm also thinking about where my iPad is and if I need to charge that. But just organizing and asking myself, what is it I can do that I am completely sustained in my bubble and that I can, if I want to, not take a nap, use the time to my advantage, regardless of what's going on. That is the lowdown. I don't really feel like I am sharing anything earth shattering here, but they're all parts of my routine. Oh, speaking of routine, how could I forget this? I'm also thinking about my trip before I go. So, what does that mean? It means that if I'm traveling solo, which I'm going to answer a listener question about that today, I am thinking about, okay, what's the week look like? What activities do I want to make sure that I have squared away before I go? And also thinking about how I want to move my body. I know that by thinking ahead and thinking forward and asking myself, am I going to need to book a day pass at the gym? Do I want to look at what's in the area and just seek out my options? Then I'll be in a better place once I arrive. So, you know me, I'm putting those things on my calendar just like I would an important meeting, because it is an important meeting with myself. And that way I'm feeling my best. That's what I'm doing before I'm traveling. If you have any more questions about this, feel free to either comment on the YouTube or send me a listener question over email. It's emily@hurdle.us and also over at Hurdle Podcast and at Emily Abadi. My question for you this week is, what is a non-negotiable that you must do before you travel? And also, what's a non-negotiable that you have to bring with you when you go? And now I am answering a listener question from Vicky. Hi, out of left field here. Newly single, not sure how to make new friends at this moment, and also looking for solo travel destinations. Where can I go that is affordable and not going to break the bank? Thanks so much. Okay, I'm not going to break the bank. This is a good question. When I want to travel domestically, there are two things that I have done repeatedly that I really like. They used to be called getaway cabins. I think they're now called postcard cabins, if I'm not mistaken. And they are those small cabins that I know in the Northeast. There's some in Connecticut, there's some in the East and West Catskills. And it's just that really picturesque, like bed in a small cabin. It has like a 2-burner stove, a small table, playing cards, a fire pit outside. And for me, I love to go to one of those and unplug and journal and read. And also, the ones in the Northeast are in really cute areas. So there's really cute things to explore. So really, the cost is just the cabin itself and then getting there or whatever you choose to do in the local area. But it can be really affordable and a really nice way to unplug. The other thing that I find myself doing when I just want to really unwind is you can do Miami in a really affordable way. There are a ton of different areas of Miami that you can stay in, some of which are more up and coming and can be more affordable. For me, I recently went and stayed at this hotel called the Shelborne, which was on or is on South Beach. But I felt like for the price, I got a really nice stay. I think it was something, I actually booked it with Delta miles now that I think about it. So it became super affordable for me because I was able to use miles to cover that with their Delta vacations, not sponsored, just a plug. Uh, but I stayed at this hotel called the Shelburne. And if you are like just having street tacos and enjoying your time on the beach, then you can keep the costs pretty low. So for me, a Miami trip, also super convenient because it's only a few hours from New York City. And I know I spoke about Delta vacations, but if you become a loyalist to an airline, so much so that like I also have the Delta credit card, I get a lot of perks through that. So I'll get reimbursed or like some sort of a credit when I book on websites like Expedia. I get discounts on trips that I book with miles. I think it's like 15% off or something. So just having loyalty to either an airline or a hotel chain can be really helpful when it comes to booking things on the cheap. Last thing I want to say about solo vacations is go there to be where your feet are. So if you're traveling on your own, then really dedicate yourself to being there. Don't be sitting at a bar for dinner and like being on your phone and texting everyone from home and whatever. Like that's just not the way. The purpose is for you to really have time with yourself, to date yourself. So I'm big on bringing my Kindle or a book to dinner or my journal to dinner. I'm big on talking to people. I'm always sitting at the bar when I'm traveling solo and just being open to the things that are around me. And again, being where my feet are. I hope that was helpful. Those are just some of the things that I've done in the past. But of course, like I said, if you have any more questions or if there's anything I can answer for you, I'm always here to help out however I can. Make sure you're following along with me on social over at Hurdle Podcast at Emily Abadi. Another hurdle conquered. Catch you guys next time.